Well, hello there, and good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. I am Frost PDP, and today we're talking about Dragon Ball Superon, the Dragon Ball Diatribe, my third podcast of this series. And today we're talking about Tenshinhan, or Tenshinhan, or however you say his name. I always just write it as Tien, done. He's Tien. And in particular, Tien is a weird guy because he's got a third eye, and we never really talk about that in Dragon Ball Z, do we? But on the Dragon Ball Z subreddit, which you can find at reddit.com/r/dbz, a user by the name of Minimus Ambus starts talking about how Tien could be powered up, like many of the fighters are going to get power-ups, but how is Tien going to get his? Well, he had an interesting idea. He mentioned that during Tien's training with the Crane Hermit, who was originally Master Roshi's rival, Tien's third eye was blocked somehow. In other words, he was limited. And we never really addressed that throughout Dragon Ball. We never see King Kai open his third eye. We never see Mr. Popo kick him a few times until he gets it right. Like, he's just Tenshinhan, and he has this third eye that doesn't seem to do much. Well, I asked Minimus a little bit more about this theory, and he showed me a picture from the Daizenshu, I believe it is. It's like the official Dragon Ball Z Avatar, not Avatar, the books, really. It's like a supplemental. And in particular, it's an interview with Akira Toriyama. And now, this could be non-canonical. This could be just Toriyama talking about what he thinks and hasn't fully worked out and put into text. I mean, he talks about, why don't Goten and Trunks have tails? Well, it seems they're a genetic trait. They're recessive. And I'm not sure if that's true, because I'm not sure if I remember them talking about having to cut Trunks' tail off when he was a kid. But we know that they do that actively because they did that with Gohan. So we might not talk about it because they might just be cut off already, and we don't think about that. But someone asks, what is up with the third eye on my main man, Tenshinhan? Is Tenshinhan human? Charles Moyer, California. Evan Colton via internet. Okay. And Toriyama answers, in certain parts of Asia, beings with a third eye on their forehead are thought to be godlike, and are said to possess the power of true seeing. It seems that Tenshinhan, who was raised by the evil Suru Sennin, or Crane Hermit, lost the ability to use the myriad powers of his third eye for good purposes. Now, first of all, good purposes? Well, that might mean that Tien has powers he hasn't unlocked yet, like healing, which could be useful on a battlefield. Or maybe sensing aura is better than anyone else can do. Or maybe it means it's been sealed for purposes of good, but because violence is bad, Tien has those powers already. He can use them for evil. But here's the thing, right? If Tien has this third eye that has never been activated, wouldn't that be a source for an immense power-up? And wouldn't it be great if Tenshinhan all of a sudden becomes, if not a rival for a Super Saiyan god, at least something comparable to a Super Saiyan god so that he'd have a relevance to the plot? I mean, don't get me started on gods and Piccolo being a god and then not being a god, and Kami not being a god, and now Dende being Kami but not being a god like Beerus and the Kais are gods, even though Kais are sort of mortal and they're a species, and there's like Kibito, who's not a Kai, but he's a Kai. Don't get me started on that, right? Let's focus on Tien. By the way, you're enjoying some artwork by two DeviantArt users, one Maim the World and one Sub-Zero Wins. I just thought these were cool pictures to have on while I talk about this. And honest to God, Tien would be an awesome character to have because he's always sort of been a Goku rival, a Goku frenemy. He's always off training on his own. He's off on his own adventures. We never see them because we're looking at Dragon Ball and we're looking at Goku and maybe Goku's family and Vegeta because Vegeta's awesome and he could really be an awesome character in Super. I'll talk about him some other time. I'll talk about Bulma some other time. I'll talk about how they're a conspiracy to rule the world. And yeah, Tien. I mean, summed up, there is room for Tien to improve drastically. Could he be a human god? Could he be a superhuman? Who knows? He's bald. We never see his hair change color. But if his eye turned this amazing blue gold or something, wouldn't that be cool if that third eye transformed? It's just a thought anyway, but that's what we do here. We think about things. So I want to thank you for joining me. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I'll try to put one of these out once a week, maybe twice a week if time permits. Definitely check out some Crusader Kings. Hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and as always, La Paz.